Have you ever been in an event shooting and suddenly out of blue your camera dies or your battery dies or the audio get crappy or like corrupted, and sometime your recording studio software crashes? Multiple things can happen. In fact, I did experience a couple of those events when I started doing videography, especially for like a long duration concerts, music events, conferences, those kind of events. And today's topic is going to be that. How do you overcome? How do you overcome such issues with your setup? This is all about setting up a basic rig which can sustain. And keep it in mind, I don't use movie cameras. I use hybrid camera like Sony a7 IV or a7C II, and these are not primarily designed for movie shoot, long run movie shoot. You can do nice clips and all, definitely, because long run movie cameras require very well heat management, which typically Sony hybrid cameras lack. And to overcome that, there are external things you can do, and you can still achieve the better things. The reason I'm using hybrid camera is primarily I'm a photographer and I love to photograph. And recently I've been asked to do videos because I also do content producing on the YouTube. Looking at that, some folks have asked me to do the video, and I thought, why not? Because I have somewhat grip on OBS, somewhat grip on DaVinci and all. So I thought, okay, let's try it out. And I blindly went to an event, and I had, you name it, I had that kind of issue. But before getting into the event, I imagined I had planned multi-camera, multi-angle, and scene changes, all those things. Everything crashed. I ended up with two independent cameras in body recording. That's all I was able to do. Somehow I was able to pull off because I got a audio recorded by the audio engineer, which he gave me generously to mix with my video. So that event was saved. But I learned my lesson, hard lesson. So I came up with a better solution with the same equipment. How do you build and reliable rig for event like 4 to 5 hours, like Arangetam, or like they call it Ranga Pravesham? Because recently I did one of that event. So that's how that experience gave me confidence that this rig works very well. And this is primarily for static shoot. Like when I say static, you mount everything on a tripod and do that. It's not for run and gun setup. You can still do run and gun setup, but you need to carry a lot. And usually run and gun shoots, like in a wedding or parties, right? It is not a continuous recording. You can switch off, switch on. So in that way, camera get a breathing chance, cooling down chance. So it is more better suited if you're just taking the camera with a gimbal or handheld with a grip and all. So yeah, coming back to the topic, how I did achieve, we can go over that. By the way, welcome back to the channel. This is Focused channel, and please do share and subscribe, and please do post your comments. So this is the rig I was talking about. I am talking about. Uh, the main system of this is Sony a7C II with 70 to 200 telephoto f2.8 G master lens. I primarily prefer this lens for stage events, especially because I don't want to disturb the audience going in the front, so I can be far away and still can do very nice shots, and also give a really good depth of field. And also, since being it's a fast lens, somewhat dark lights it can manage very well. I mean, I tried with other 24 by 70 and other lenses, but I love this lens. This is amazing for especially concerts and the videos like Arangetam or gigs like Ranga Pravesham or conferences. Maybe for run and gun kind of video shots, you may need a little wide angle because you go close to people or recording onboarded mic. I mean, you can have on body mic and all. So that's the second thing. I mean, maybe we can talk that later when I do that that kind of event. I haven't done that yet. So coming back to this rig, right? This is basically, yeah. The another drawback with this tiny camera like A7C II is the the display panel, right? It's very small. For like long run events like 2 3 hours or 3 4 hours, your eyes get strained looking at it, focusing, and also like framing your shots. So it's always better idea to have an external monitor mounted. I'm using this Veltrox. This has 2800 nits. It's really bright, especially if you're shooting outdoorsy. I primarily got this for my photo shots if I'm doing outdoors, but this was really helpful for my video shot. I also because I don't have to strain, I can just watch from far away and move the tripod, the angles. So that's one thing. And the most other important part is basically if you look at this, right? I have a field audio recorder come interface. I mean, this is Tascam FRAV2, little expensive end, but it gives you amazing quality. It's a 32-bit float, so there's no clipping of audio at all, and it has a multiple input. You can do 3.5 mm as well as XLR. Typically, when you're doing a stage shots, right, like the conferences or like a dance events, the audio system audio engineer on the stage provide you a line level. Ask them for a line level. Typically, if you get a mic level, that will be very low. You have to put a lot of gain. By the way, Tascam FRAV2 handles both very well, and it has a you can put the stereo in from here. I mean, you're getting a stereo, or you can pair this XLR as a stereo. You can do that. It's very easy configuration. I mean, there are several reviewers who did the Tascam FRAV2 review. Go and check out. Maybe in future I'll also do based on my experience. And also it has a monitor out and your audio out. So the setup I'm talking is a little bit of added redundancies. So the audio is also being recorded here. The inputs are coming like a line level inputs. I got it from the stage, a single line or a stereo. You can choose what you want to record. Typically, most of the events they give a single line XLR, but if you ask, they might have a dual stereo setup that left to the stage engineer or the audio engineer over there. And once you connect that, this is a field, it will act as an interface as well as a field recorder. So it is recording itself the entire session, no issues. It takes two three AAA batteries, lithium ion batteries, which can run for like 12 to 14 hours. So no issues. You don't need to connect with the external power like I'm doing. I'll go one by one. And this is connected through audio purifier kind of component, audio isolator, because there are a lot of wires going on. I was a little worried. It may not be needed. This is like you take output of this and feed it to this audio isolator. It will reduce the noises, which I'm putting into my camera. So while camera is also recording, it gets the audio from this. So you have two sets now, right? A video plus audio in the camera body itself and the camera SD card, and then the Tascam field recorder, it has its own audio. So later on DaVinci or tools like that, you can sync up if your audio, you didn't like the audio in the camera or the quality or something, right? So you have full audio, that's one guaranteed. So the key to the any video shoots like concerts and events like that, right? Video is important, but audio is super critical. If video is little bit crappy, people accept it, but if your audio is gone, then nobody likes it. They don't even like to watch if the audio is bad. So audio mind is like you have to invest time and energy to, I mean, money also to learn and manage audio very well with your video. That's one key point. That was my hard lesson in my very first gig I did, wherein I didn't knew anything. I got that Focaster, what is that, two-channel stereo audio interface. And I mean, the issue was something different, but at the time I didn't realize because I didn't even try it out before, because I just went, like I bought it in a store with the confidence, went to the gig. I thought I'll plug it in and I read all about it. It works seamlessly. No, it didn't work. I'll explain that later, maybe when I get to that part, that portion where things got messy for me. So That one thing. And the other thing is, for the camera body, always prefer to have some kind of cage, because you can do a lot of mountings. Even if you're doing a run and gun with a handle, you need to have a better grip instead of holding it on the camera body. And also you can use gimbal like the DJI RS for mini, or based on your camera size and all. I mean, that usually goes like pro level. I'm not there yet doing those things, but like this probably will help a lot of people, right? Like you need to have a decent cage which have a lot of mount options. So for example, I'm mounting this monitor using small rig. This is Hawk Lock with a RE rail. So taking out, taking in is so easy for this, right? You don't have to struggle. Once you mount, like you can mount it on the cage, and then you can simply slide it out, this one. But like right now I'm connected with the cable, I wanted to show that. It's very easy. There's a cold shoe mount also, you get these kind of things. And I usually prefer small rig components because they are very reliable and precise. And I also use Tilta a lot, but Tilta is very, very custom stuff. So that's secondary. And third is the most important for the video shots, right? Uh, the tripod head, video tripod head. Always go with a fluid head, which also has some friction, or you can adjust the balance kind of head. Though they are little expensive, trust me, they pay off, because I started my videography career with this small rig, small tiny so-called video come photography head. It's a hybrid. It's not a fluid head, but like video shots are so jerky, right? You won't realize while doing it. It just goes and stops, just goes and stops. It's very, very jerky, and people don't like jerky moves, right? Then I slowly promoted to this Manfrotto fluid head. It has a fixed friction. I mean, there's no adjustment, though it is okay. I was tempted to go with this was called GH06F from EI Image. This is, yeah, it's written here, right? EI Image, EI Image. So this is, I think, king of all my tripod heads. I mean, like for the videos, it's buttery, buttery smooth. And I'll get a close up look on this. And uh, you can adjust the load, and you can balance it. Once you balance the camera, when I say balance, it's very similar to gimbal balancing, but much, much less complicated. All you need to do is this tilts, right? It should, you should try to, I didn't balance it as of now, should stay at one place once you tilt it. So you can add a custom load. It's a spring loaded stuff which you can adjust that. That's like too much of details on the gimbal head, I mean, sorry, tripod head. But the point here is, you need to have buttery smooth movement, so that you don't have to worry about the jerks. Otherwise you have to be extremely careful, and events like 3+ hours, you lose that. As the things progress, you lose energy, you'll be standing there, and the focus or the framing will be moving across the stage. So that's very difficult, and I strongly suggest go for it if you're getting into this profession, this tripod head. And any decent good tripod will do to put up. Coming to one by one, right? Like right now, I could have mounted my field monitor, sorry, field recorder to the camera cage itself. It's too many wires. So this tripod head, the GH06 tripod head, gives me an optional mounting point. So I mounted using my Tilta Magic Arm. I mean, a lot of brands do make these things. You can tilt it any angle, anywhere you want. So I just put it there. You don't disturb. It moves along. Only make sure your wires are little dangling, which are connecting inside. Or you can totally isolate it from the moment. You can mount it on the tripod itself. It's your choice, whatever is convenient at the moment. And the other most important point is, keep all your ports open, especially on hybrid camera, so that air moves around. It will keep camera cool. And also in Sony cameras, there's an option in menu somewhere you can make it don't shut down on overheating. but it will extend your heated temperature runtime, but eventually it will shut down. It happened to me. So but you still have to do that to avoid immediate shutdowns or immediate almost a little bit temperature raises. For safety sake, camera shuts down and you have to leave a few minutes, but like your program is not waiting for you when you're shooting even. So you need to have backup idea for that. Luckily, when that happened, I had another camera rolling also, but that didn't shut down at the time. It shut down later. But yeah, I was able to manage different scenes with the different angles, different cameras. So to avoid that shutdown, this is a nice smart idea. This is, I think I got it from the small rig, the fan. This is a temperature sensor based designed for Sony a7 series. It perfectly fits into the your panel's body. You keep the panel open and you just click it, and once you plug it in, it will automatically switch based on the temperature, or you can manually override that. There's a button. There's another model which I got earlier which has a display also tell you what's the temperature. And trust me, this is really really key, because the last event I did shoot for what, 3.5 hours non-stop. The camera didn't I didn't turn it off, even there was a break like 15 minutes. I didn't turn off the camera. It was still running, and this fan was kicking in, kicking off, and it's not too loud. So you won't get affected by the audio of this, since you're feeding the camera microphone through your field recorder, or like a line level feed, external feed basically. Probably if you're directly recording on the camera internal microphone, you might get into some noise. I haven't tested that because I already had these kind of things, so I don't need. So definitely, even if you don't want to have a field camera, you should use something like a. There are different type of microphones. Don't use internal camera for a professional shoot. The audio quality will not be good, even if it's a small clip, duration. Go for the different. I forward, like there are different type of microphones which can project or capture audio from certain angles. You can minimize, widen, and all those stuff. And I got this for like an upcoming assignment for it's a run and gun assignment for some party event. So I'll be moving a lot. So I got this, but I haven't used it. I tested it. It is really really good. You just mount it on your camera. You don't need a monitor at the time, so you can just move around with a like a rig and a handle. So that was the idea. So coming back to the heating is right. You run this, put the fan, and other thing is battery, right? For the camera batteries, don't use internal batteries. Go for something like this. It's a V mount, at least 99-hour battery rating. It has a TDAP ports, USB-C, USB-A, 12 volts USB-C, 12 volts DC, 9 volts DC, almost whatever kind of power feed you need, it provides. And even like a lot of brands make them. Like I got a Neva one because it has a cost optimal. Small rig makes some of these kind of batteries. Tilta makes. So these are very reliable. Like for the 4 hour shoot, I was running the monitor and the camera, and also connected just for safety my field recorder to this, and it went up to like maybe 80% for the 99-hour battery. I mean, I do have a spare battery, so when it went to like 70, I switched couple of power connections to that other V mount battery. So that's one thing. This is about the power, right? And next is um, the output, right? You can just record it in your camera internal SD card. There are two aspects to it. One is, if you're just recording there, that is your source of truth for everything. And the load on camera is little more because it also need to write to the file. So there's the IO happening, the temperature raises fast. So I what I do is basically I take the feed of the camera, HDMI out. Where did I connect? Okay, I didn't connect it yet. So here the HDMI out is there, right? Yeah, this is USB. Yeah. So yeah, that HDMI out goes to my Elgato. This is which model? Uh, it's a basically camera capture device, so it gives you 4K, um, easily 30 fps, and I always do 24 or 30 fps video shoot because it gives you more cinematic look, unless you are doing some special fancy things using 60 fps and then slowing it down and all. This otherwise you can go to the next model in Elgato to provide that. Trust me, it worked beautifully for my last two events. The very first event I was talking about, right, I had an issue because one camera I connected with this, the another one I used a simple cam link, Elgato cam link 4K. That is mainly meant for web calls. It converts your camera into webcam. For some reason it was all glitchy and I couldn't do that, and that's a different story. So this is amazing device, and this has a bypass HDMI out also, to which I connect to monitor. So mind it, like last time it happened to me. What I did is camera out goes to monitor, and monitor also has out. From there I took it to the Elgato and then to my computer. The problem was the monitor died in between. Even though I thought there's a backup battery, I kept it, but it is doesn't the Viltrox thing doesn't switch automatically to the backup battery. So I had to do manually. I realized that a brief moment I lost the video, but luckily I was running the camera recording also, so I got able to capture that. I mean, when I said lost the video, on the OBS, where I was recording the live event. So now what I'm doing is nowadays I use Elgato's out to the monitor, so it helps to monitor. Even if monitor goes off, your whole workflow doesn't get affected. And this one, okay, let me connect it. This is a micro HDMI for Sony a7C II, um, and I'll run the demo in a minute. And this output goes there, and the USB-C. Make sure you get the fastest USB-C your computer can accept. uh, Especially USB 3.x onwards is good. 10 Gbps speed plus. This is Thunderbolt 4. My laptop has Thunderbolt 4, I think, and this is Thunderbolt 5, or like USB 5, whatever. Like, I mean, they are like slightly interchangeable protocols. They give to 40 to 80 Mbps speed, Gbps speed, sorry, when you feed it. So you connect to your computer with that, and voila, and you run your OBS. So now the redundancy on audio, there are three audio recording. One is here, one is in camera body if you kick off the recording in camera, and the OBS itself. The OBS, by the way, videos usually are big, like 3 hour, 4 hour, and 4K XVS format will take you easily 250 gigs, approximately. That's what happened my last event. It went to 270 gigs, the whole video recording. Uh, so what happened is at the time I had just 250 GB SD card in the camera. By the way, Sony takes just a SDXC card, not the CFXA like Sony, the bigger bodies take. So it has only one memory card. So I was scared that finally when I had a little break, I had to shut down and swap a card. So, but better to have based on your event, and you calculate that ahead of time based on your event duration and approximate shot duration and what is the format you'll be shooting. Calculate, you can get the approximate size, use the appropriate SD card or the memory card for that. And but like if you're not recording on the camera, you're totally relying on the OBS, you can do something like this. Especially Mac has a dedicated hardware, what do you call that, H2X encoder for the video. It doesn't give any load. Mac doesn't heat up anything, even like 4 hours shot. All you need is keep a Mac with a power supply on all the time so that it doesn't shut down because of the max internal battery, but it doesn't consume more power, more CPU utilization, nothing. It's very, very smooth. For me, I didn't face like all the events. OBS didn't give me. A lot of people told me, "Hey, OBS might crash and all." I don't know what they experienced. Maybe on Windows, but on Mac, it's very, very stable. I didn't had any issue. The make sure you have to match the FPS on your camera. Like I usually shoot on 30 FPS, right? And when I 30 FPS, I usually put a frame rate of 60. That's like a regular thumb rule for any videographer. They should know it. So forget about that, and like you have to match that on your OBS. I'll quickly go over the OBS settings in a bit. What you can do is, and once you get that, you can this here also connecting SSD, right? External SSD. Make sure you get the maximum possible speed allowed. This is crucial extern, which can take up to 1200 Mbps write speed, really fast. Till last year, and now they're a little more faster than this came from Samsung and other brands. And this is very tiny, 4 terabytes, very tiny. This is my pocket to go SSD. Always keep that. And this is connected by, again, Thunderbolt 5 cable. I see. Don't don't be stingy on cables. Spend money on cables, because that's what give you performance and stability. Don't go for the cheap ones. You don't know when they go bust. I mean, like, they might work for some time, but there's no reliability. So I usually go with the OWC cables. This is OWC 240 watt. That's what the rating it says, but it's a Thunderbolt what do you call, certified, Thunderbolt 5. So I had no issues connecting, like, my main camera, like the, sorry, not the camera, the Elgato Cam Link connects to that, to the laptop. And laptop, like, basically on OBS, you directly you mounted this, right? Once you connected in OBS, give a path to this SSD, create a folder for your, like, a newly recorded. It will keep dumping files. And another thing about OBS, when I come to the OBS screen, I can explain. There are typically it does it in MP4, but the problem with MP4 is basically when, assuming something crashed and you lost all the entire file, because it keeps it has to write the endpoint to make the file readable. It get corrupted. So there's another format, I'll quickly tell. I forgot, MBK or something. Basically, it will be writing in buffers, quick shots, and then later you can convert it to MP4 in the OBS itself. So it is much more safer. So again, the redundancy comes in play. It's not redundancy, but, like, think about the negative scenarios you might face. So that might help in that. So those are the main things. And yeah, I'm using some JJC accessory strap for tripod. These are really helpful to keep things like this Elgato, or if you are using remotes or something like that, you can add a strap onto the tripod, and can put it that. And yeah, this main rig setup. um, Let me go close up and show you. This is the close up, and this is the brain of the, no, not the brain, the backbone of the whole setup. That's rig, EI image GH06F. 06 is the model, and the F comes with the another attachment for the flathead tripod. This has a ball mounted right now, if you look at it. And I'm using robust tripod, which is very reliable, strong. And this is the tilta rig, cage for Sony a7C II. And this is what I was talking about, the small rig hawk clock, I think, mount, quick release mounts. And this is the Viltrox monitor, which is connected via Elgato. Sorry, this is Elgato. And this one is the basically Tascam FRAV2. Right now connected to my computer just to record and showcase the demo. The audio is coming out, and I also got an audio feed out directly. If you look at this USB, right, that's an audio feed out to the computer. I can record it as a separate channel in OBS. So I have a redundancy of 3 audios and 2 videos in this whole rig setup. So as long as camera is running, we have extra recording and all other stuff. There was a bug I discovered on OBS on Mac, especially when you put a streaming audio. It was all choppy. So I ended up using loopback as we saw earlier. Right now, coming back to the OBS screen itself, for the video, you have to set up the FPS value to 30, which is same as your camera. You're shooting in 30 frames per second. And now I'm showing the path to where you put the recorded media. That's my external drive. So that's one thing, so that you don't flood up your disk. And also your video encoder, you should choose, if you're using Mac M3 and above, they have a hardcore encoder, so there's no CPU load at all. And also the video format I didn't show, I think the format you should choose is MVK, especially for long videos, because if a video crashes in between, OBS crashes in between, you lose entire video. MVK keep on saving the videos. So again, the capture device was, I was using Elgato 4K. That's a gaming capture device, and the audio input is the loop back. That's what I'm showcasing here. So these are the basic settings you need to keep in your OBS. Keep it in mind, and you hit start recording. It will continuous record, and voila. um, I haven't seen any issues in my multiple video gig sessions, this particular setup. So this is what I'm trying to showcase. And the other thing I'm trying to show is like the fluid head movement. It is smooth with the new fluid head I got, the EI image GH06F. But as I talked earlier about the zoom, right? These are not cine lenses. See, zoom is so choppy. Unless if you do it like a little bit faster, you won't see that. And the stage events, it's usually that doesn't matter. You don't zoom that often. Even if you zoom, do it little bit faster, so that you don't feel that, the viewers don't feel that choppiness. But panning must be super smooth, and that's what I'm trying to showcase here. The panning is so smooth, vertical or horizontal, with this new fluid head. I'm literally in love with that fluid head. This is the quick short demo with the OBS setup. How do you do that? So this was my lesson after like doing multiple, more than like 3 or 4 long duration gigs events, specifically for stage events where you are stationary most of the time, and you have to run it for long. And what I learned is reliability and redundancy matters most. Reliability, basically, obviously, you need it just to make sure things fall in place, all things work together. And redundancy is, in case something failed, you have a backup. You do have something else to reuse in your final production outcome. So the main thing to be like, I'm reiterating the whole thing. You need to have, the main important thing is keep the camera cool. Keep all the ports open. Use external fan, just like the one I just showed you, attaches to the camera body. It kind of, not kind, it literally reduced like maybe 15 degree Celsius when the temperature went up. The practical example, I had it from a 4 hour gig, which was in an auditorium, uh, pretty crowded, but uh, technically it is not too hot inside, but the system gets hot after like long running. At the time, I was also recording video on the camera, also not only on the OBS. So you have a video on camera, video on OBS. That's a redundancy. There are two copies, and you have audio on the field recorder or interface, and one copy, like your video is getting recorded with along with audio. You can easily rip it off and replace with a pure audio from the field recorder. And or the OBS also, I got the feed, so OBS is also recording along with the audio. So you don't need a time code to match, because like you have three copies of audios, two with the two video files and one with the individual audio. So that's a redundancy I was talking about. And after the temperature maintenance, make sure your battery, you have enough juice to run all your devices. Technically speaking, V-mount batteries are awesome. They are small in format, and they have multiple or like many outputs, from DC 12 volt to 9 volt to 12 volts to USB-C 12 volts to USB 5.6 volts to TDAP 12 volts. And the other important thing is always use dummy battery, because yeah, internal battery is limited. One thing, by duration, maybe you can with the Sony a7C II, you may able to record like maybe 2 hours or 1.5 hour at the most, if a battery life cycle is good. The Z, or what is that, ZF100 batteries. But the dummy battery with the external V mount attached, it can run for long. And keep a spare battery, even the V mount battery also. You never know, something goes wrong and it drained everything. In my last gig, it happened like my, even though my routing was little wrong, I routed my cam link to the sorry, camera to monitor and monitor to cam link and then to the computer. Instead of that, I should have done like the one I just showed you, from camera to cam link, and cam link also has output like Elgato 4K. Yes, the that's meant for actually gaming streaming, so it's very reliable in that, and it does like a 4K 30 FPS with ease, no issues, and use that output to the monitor. So monitor is independent. If monitor fails or battery dies or whatever happens, your flow is not interrupted. Still your feed is going to the OBS. And also your Mac or whatever the computer you're using, uh, connected to the power source, so that you are not running on battery. And the other thing with the Mac is it has an inbuilt H.264 hardware video encoder, so there's no load on CPU, no heat, nothing. So it smoothly records, no issues. And I connected external SSD drive, because my laptop has a lot of other stuff which I don't want to every time move stuff and make space for my gigs. So external drive, that will make sure you have a fast drive SSD, and also at least USB 3.x compatible drive and your computer, so that OBS write speed not hindered. I mean, basically, you don't want delays introduced while writing and all, right? Recording. So that's a point. And with this OBS in between, the advantage compared to like video switchers, like Blackmagic ATEM video switchers, which are fabulous and simplified, but limited to one full HD resolution. It cannot go beyond that, because if you go beyond that, they are very expensive, the gear. So with OBS, you get advantage of recording live, or you can even do the streaming. I haven't tried live streaming, but it is doable. OBS provides that live streaming. And always keep a backup recording in camera, even though it heats up a bit. It's a better strategy in the especially long runs, right? And with a bigger memory card in your camera, to like you calculate the what the approximate outcome of your recording based on the duration and the format you are using. So these are things you need to keep it in mind. And with OBS, one more thing, you can have multi-scene. If you have multiple cameras, my initial gig plan was that I had two cameras. I wanted to cover two different angles, and you can smooth transition, like someone on the computer should be monitoring and managing that. Like you can do transitions between the live shots, even either it could be streaming or it could be recording. That would be awesome. It will save some time, because like if you're, even though having multiple cameras shooting, you have to sync it first thing. Syncing audio video is little complicated and time consuming if you don't have time code. Look up what is time code. Not all hybrid cameras support time code. Maybe, not maybe, most of the cine cameras support time code. Time code is some kind of a timed information, not only your frequency pulses of the audio. So based on that, your tools like DaVinci or any other similar kind of tools can easily sync up videos. Like you take a shot from another camera, take a shot from this camera, you can easily map it based on the audio, the time code. Sorry, not exactly audio, but it's a time code. So the and sound matches, even though it is different angle. So that's a stuff of time code. But I don't have a cine camera, so I had to live with what I have. So I'm trying my best to achieve that same similar feature. So that's what about it. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll try to explain as much as possible. And even I can do more detail on individual gear of this entire rig. The rig is consist of like the camera, cage, some mounts, monitor, field recorder, and cam link. That's an adapter from camera to computer, 4K streaming, and what else? And a really good fluid head tripod. Or a tripod doesn't matter much because it's static at one place, but like the head matters a lot. One thing I forgot to tell you, I was using the zoom lens, right? This is again typical photography lens, the Sony is sorry 70 to 200 f2.8 G Master 2 lens. It's amazing lens. One problem with cine scenarios is the zooming is not smooth. Even though um, I even got external focus throwers. I tried with that. I didn't show it in the demo. Um, I, it's a bit of waste of money with this lens, especially. Focus is smooth, but these are all autofocus lenses, so no issues. But zooming, however smoothly you try to do, it will be choppy. So it is okay for shoots like stage events, you rarely zoom. But if your job involves a lot of like zooming, focusing, making different focuses like different people, like it's typical cinematography, right? You obviously need a cine camera. So yeah, that's crux of it. This is all my learning so far. I'll keep learning whatever new things thrown at me, the life and the events. So that's what about it. Enjoy and adios.